This man loved working out. Because he had zero magical talent, he had trained his muscles to the absolute limit. He could even read a book while doing squats. The examiner had never seen someone so audacious. This was the Magic Academy entrance exam, after all. To weed out unserious students like him, the examiner started throwing difficult questions from the very first test. The moment the candidates saw the questions, cold sweat ran down their faces. The text on the exam paper was actually moving. It turned out the examiner had cast a spell on it, and the students needed to undo the magic and arrange the text in order. Gregory and Brad were both worried for Mash, since he couldn't use magic at all. But as it turned out, their worry was unnecessary, because even magic feared Mash's physical output.
動かれると困るんだけど。
The sight left them both stunned. Then Mash was the first to hand in his paper. The examiner thought he was giving up, but when he looked, he found Mash's answers were perfectly arranged. And it didn't stop there. In the following tests, Mash kept using his brute force hacks. To make a giant boulder float in the air, he simply jammed his finger straight into the stone. To walk on water, he just ran across the surface. As long as he was fast enough, he wouldn't sink. These moves left the examiner completely dumbfounded. But they also pissed him off, so he decided to pull out all the stops. As the next test began, the ground suddenly started shaking violently. Before long, a massive maze appeared before everyone. The maze was filled with all kinds of traps, and the candidates had to reach the exit within 30 minutes to pass. Mash thought it would be a piece of cake, but then a girl suddenly walked over. Her name was Evan, and she wanted to clear the maze together. Two people working together would be more efficient. Mash thought she had a point and agreed, but before they had gone very far, she tripped over a tiny pebble. At first, Mash didn't think much of it, but as they went on, Evan triggered every single trap in the maze, all while loudly begging Mash not to leave her behind. This made Mash start to suspect her motives. Just then, a scream rang out in the distance. Mash realized time was running out and prepared to leave, but Evan dropped the act. She used magic to bind Mash's hands and feet. It turned out her goal was to stop Mash from reaching the finish line, but Mash wasn't bothered by such a cheap trick. With a slight flex, the chains around him shattered, and he simply walked away. Evan wanted to go after him, but a sphinx appeared behind her. The overwhelming pressure froze her in place. She tried to attack with magic, but her wand was instantly knocked away by the sphinx. The sheer force terrified her so much her legs gave out, and all she could do was watch as the sphinx lunged at her. But at the very last moment, Mash actually came back. And with a single punch, he knocked the sphinx to the ground. With the crisis over, Evan wondered why Mash had come back to save her. Mash said he just felt sorry for her, so he helped. Hearing this, Evan was deeply moved. But at the same time, she felt guilty, because there wasn't enough time left to make it out of the maze. Meanwhile, seeing that Mash still hadn't come out, the examiner couldn't help but laugh. But his joy didn't last long. A loud crashing sound suddenly echoed through the walls.